Hey, we back with another banger video. But yeah, man, I told y'all I was gonna find a video on them, like real life vampires. They say they got vampires that exist in real life. You know what I'm saying? So old girl say she encountered one, and we finna hear her story. But hey, y'all go grab y'all some water, whatever it is y'all doing. Y'all rock with your boy and come and rock with your boy. Let's get to the video, fam.
Mine spent feeding a vampire. And if you're into that dark, twisted story time on the 8 months I spent feeding a vampire. And if you're into that dark, twisted romance shit.
Hey, by the way, it got 206,000 likes, so it must be some good.
You're definitely going to want to stay for this one. I was about 21 or 22 years old. This is my midnight ballerina days. One night, I'm working at the club. And in walks in one of the most finest men I've ever laid my eyes on. This guy reminded me a lot of Benjamin Bratt, but like sexier. Like Benjamin Bratt when he was in his prime, but like just way finer. He's wearing this really nice suit, smells amazing, like perfect teeth. Just everything about this guy was like flawless, and all the girls were looking at him. One by one, the girls, go up to him, talk to him, offer a dance. He's making small talk, but he's not getting any dances. So I walk up to him, start talking to him, and something about him just felt so familiar. Like I was so comfortable with this guy. I felt like I had known him for years. So we're talking, and we were talking for a while. It must have been like an hour. But I was just so like into the conversation that we were having. And he ends up asking me for a dance, and I'm like flattered. I was not expecting that. There was a lot prettier girls there. He turned out a lot prettier girls that night, but he wanted me. So I was like, okay, fuck. So we're in the VIP. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my little dance. And in the light, he notices my arms. So I used to like not be nice to myself. Like I used to hurt myself. And he notices the scars. And he becomes almost like fixated on them. He's so fixated on my scars that he actually tells me to sit down, like to stop dancing. He wants to look at my arm. And he's like caressing them, and like, I don't know, something about the way he was caressing it was very sensual. And he even started to like smell my arm. Like I know that's really weird, but he brought like my arm up to his face and was just like smelling my arm. And I was like, what the, like, okay. And while he's rubbing the scars on my arm, he's looking me in my eyes and telling me like, you are perfect. Your pain is so beautiful. That's exactly what he fucking said to me. Mind y'all, I was a dancer, so like I had seen and heard a bunch of creepy shit. Like I didn't scare easily, but I was kind of like, this is very interesting. And I'm not gonna lie, something about him caressing my scars and putting his lips against them that made me feel seen and beautiful, and it was so sensual. So I finished my dance. He thanks me.
Wait, hold on. So when so a nigga, let's say a nigga she wasn't attracted to when to caress her arm and put his lips on it. She would have said SA. Am I capped though? SA. So it's only SA if he attractive. I mean, it's not SA if he attractive, right? But that's weird. Any nigga who put his lips on you just mean you. That's weird, bro. Oh, come on, that's just straight up.
Gives me a fat tip, walks out. He ends up coming back every day for like the next week and getting a dance for me. So one night I'm in the back with him, and he's doing his like little fixating thing on my arm. And he asked me, he's like, do you think you could do that again? Like looking at my arms and rubbing my scars. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, and he's rubbing his fingers across my scars. He's like, could you do this again? I'm like, I'm not sure exactly what you're asking me. Like, do I feel like hurting myself again? He's like, no, not that. Like, if I gave you money, could you do that to yourself? And I'm like, dude, you're starting to freak me out. Like, what do you mean? What are you looking for? Like, what's your thing? He ends up telling me, he's like, I really enjoy the taste of. So I'm like, like a normal fucking person would have gotten really freaked out, but I'm not a normal fucking person. Y'all know me. I'm like, a bitch loves a good plot. I know it's gonna end up being the death of me one day. So I'm like, ooh, you little vampire, you got a little vampire kink? He kind of like shrugs his head like, yeah, you can call it that. And he offers me $800 a feed. That's what he said. I'll give you $800 a feed. I'm like, 1,000. He's like, done. So fast forward, we end up making a date for the feeding, and he actually wants to take me out on a date though. So we go to this nice restaurant. He orders for me. I was fine though because he ordered the steak, and I would have ordered that anyway. So I was really happy with that. And he doesn't eat. He just orders a glass of wine. So we end up going to one of his properties, or at least that's what he told me. He told me that he was in real estate and he owns a bunch of properties, and this is one of his properties. And it is this beautiful, I don't know if it was a mansion, like I don't know what technically makes a mansion, but it was this big ass beautiful house in the Hollywood Hills. I know y'all are like losing your fucking minds right now. Like, bitch, what the fuck? He could have been anybody and done anything to you. I know. We get in this house, there's candles everywhere, there's a fire already rolling in the fireplace. I'm telling you, it was like a scene out of a fucking movie. He asked me to lay down on this really pretty chaise lounge that was by the fireplace, and he pulls out this knife. And I remember this knife, it was a pretty knife. It was like in the shape of a feather. So I'm laying down, he brings the blade over and he asks me, he's like, do you want to do it, or do you want me to do it, the incision? I'm like, you know what? It's for the first time, I'll do it. So I make my incision and he starts to eat. And it was something about the way that he was eating that just, I don't know, it felt really intimate, really sensual. Like it gave me literal chills. I'm getting chills right now just talking about it. And something in me was just like I wanted to eat him too. Like just desire just grew inside of me. I almost felt like I was in a trance, and I got this rush that I've never gotten from any substance that I've ever taken in my life. And it was like instant addiction, that rush that I was getting from him feeding. I've never felt that rush again to this day. And I end up jumping his bones. I told you, I felt this desire to just consume this man. And that was, to this day, the most amazing sex I have ever had in my life. So fucking passionate and just, it was just fucking crazy. And that just became our thing. Like I would go over and I would feed him, and he would end up fucking feeding me, feeding my fire. And I can already hear y'all in the comments, so you were pretty much an SW worker. It was not like that. He was not paying me for that. He was paying to feed. And the other stuff, I was just giving it to him, honestly. In the aftercare, my gosh, we would always take a shower afterwards, and he would pull out his little first aid kit and clean me up and disinfect me and bandage it up and make sure like I was okay. And for 8 months, this is what we did. We would go out to a nice dinner. He would order me the steak. It had to be steak. And I noticed every time we linked up, it would be like nights that were raining. I don't know why the rain, but that was just something that I noticed. And in those 8 months that I spent with him, I ended up making $12K with 12 different feedings. Not only did I make $12K, but it seemed like everything in my life was just like on the up and up. I was making the most money I've ever made at my work, at my club. Like I was having good luck. Like I just had everything. And he would literally glow after each feeding. Call me fucking crazy, but I felt like every time I fed him, he looked younger and stronger. And the only reason why the feeding stopped is because I told him, I didn't want to keep doing that to my skin, because I had already had a lot of damage from the prior times of me just hurting myself. And he completely understood. He was sad about it, but he completely understood, and he gave me like one last like really big tip. He gave me like a $3,000 tip, and that was that. Like I never saw him again. He never came back to the club ever again. And like a year or two later, I drove past that house, like just curious, and I don't think he lived there anymore. I'm not even gonna lie. I was trying to see if I can get some D. That's how amazing it was. I circled back 2 years later. And y'all can judge me all you want. I don't care. I've got my little kinks too. And I was a fully consenting adult. So what do y'all think? Vampire? Or just a guy with a weird kink? Story time.
So I know. Okay, I've not been. Okay, I'm twisted because I would have fell in love. Okay, this is a female. She's saying she twisted because she would have fell in love. Yeah. Okay, plot twist. Hold on. How do you move on from that? I don't know if I'd be able to. Man, I ain't got time for y'all hoes. Y'all hoes. Bruh, if this was true, this shows you hoes will do anything for money. For money. Now all of a sudden, and the money ain't had nothing to do with it. First of all, if a nigga come up to you and say, cut your arm open, let me eat it. Man, that's why y'all a lot of y'all hoes are single, bro. Cause y'all be man, next, tell me what y'all think about that foolishness in the comments, man. See you guys next video. Always remember, be safe out there, kings and queens. Let's get it, man.